Come see what I got in my latest $3 grab bag from the thrift store. I am always amazed by the treasures inside. Let me know your favorite item.
Grab bag. My favorite item out of this grab bag, well, I guess I'd have to go with that pretty yellow little ducky. I'll say that 5 times fast. Good luck. But what if we were talking about a different kind of grab bag? Maybe like a cop grab bag. You know, a grab bag for cops. What would be their favorite item? Well, now we're back at the cop grab bag. You know, a grab bag for cops. What would their favorite item be? Well, let's go ahead and start at 12 o'clock, work our way around, and then we'll save the best for last for dead center. How's that sound? So let's go ahead and assemble our pieces and parts for a cop grab bag. A grab bag for cops. So what would you put at the 12 o'clock position? How about we start with trespass? Yeah, let's go ahead and put trespass in there. Oh, the colors match. What about the 2 o'clock there, that really pretty one? What would you put in the 2 o'clock position in terms of, the favorite items that a cop would want in a cop grab bag? I'm going to go with disorderly conduct. Oh, I thought so. Trespass and disorderly conduct, 2 of the favorite items that every police officer would want in their cop grab bag. Well, I think we're off to a good start. So how about that, what is that, about the 5 o'clock position? Oh, how about we go with failing to obey a lawful order? Oh, we got to have that in the grab bag of favorite items that every cop would want in their cop grab bag. I mean, that's God status stuff. They can speak and we have to obey. No questions asked. Okay, now we're at about the 7 o'clock position. I'd probably have to go with, well, I'm debating, but I think I'm going to go with suspicious activity. I mean, I'd like to put that in the center, but I think there's something else that's more deserving of that. So let's go ahead with suspicious activity. Yeah, I think that's an important one. Moving on to the 10 o'clock. I guess this is where I'm struggling because I know what I want to put in the center. I'll tell you what, in the 10 o'clock, how about we go with this? How about failing to identify? Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Okay, I'll put that in there. Trespass, disorderly conduct, failing to obey a lawful order, whether it's lawful or not, suspicious activities, and failing to identify. Well, those are outstanding choices, but we still have to put one in the middle. One in the middle. I think we ought to look at it as though, well, what's the one that they like to actually formally charge people with? Aha! Obstruction or obstructing. You're obstructing my investigation. You're hindering and you're delaying. You're obstructing. I mean, they love that. That has to be the number one favorite item that every cop wants inside their cop grab bag. Grab bag for cops. Oh, yeah, you remember this asshole? Yeah, he knows something we don't know. Well, I know what it is, but I'm happy to share it. All the police have to do is what to make an arrest? Establish probable cause. That's the first trick. You obstructed my investigation. They have virtually guaranteed themselves a free pass. Qualified immunity? Hell yeah. I had probable cause. He obstructed me. He didn't do what I wanted him to do. He didn't listen. And you notice the 51%, that's the level of proof. 51%. All you got to do is just kind of tip the scales a little bit. And that's your probable cause. It's like in a civil case, it's preponderance of the evidence. In criminal, it's probable cause. So it's a low standard. We're a long ways away from beyond a reasonable doubt. I mean, that's the standard to convict someone in court. And that stands at 95% surety. Not 100, beyond a reasonable doubt. 95%. So you see the difference here. Well, shit, DB, where is this all headed? Well, I'll tell you where it's all headed. It's headed right there. It's right in front of you. Beyond a reasonable doubt. Someone is falsely charged with obstructing an investigation. Oh, I'll show you how to beat it in court. I don't know why all of a sudden I'm craving Reese's Big Cups. Well, it must be something subliminal. I got to stay focused because I'm about to kick some ass. Well, you want to kick some ass with me? I thought so. What are you cooking up now? You had another illustration there, DB? Oh, you're damn right. I'm talking about your defense strategy. Linear backtracking based upon the exclusionary rule. Evidence that has been gathered or otherwise obtained illegally cannot be used to convict someone. It cannot be used as evidence in court. Linear backtracking, well, that's starting at the arrest phase, going from left or the beginning to right the conclusion. The arrest. Prior to arraignment, prior to court. I need you to think back to all those YouTube videos that we've watched collectively. When the police show up, there's no crime, but somehow they manage to arrest the person for obstructing a non-criminal investigation. A non-criminal investigation. Cops love to throw out the word investigation. That's what they're trained to do. Well, what goes along with an investigation? Well, there must be a crime. So as soon as they throw out that word investigation, you are already 98% of the way to jail unless you're willing to give up your ID, which a lot of folks just aren't nowadays. Screw the police. They're government workers wearing clown costumes. We don't owe them shit. They have no authority over us until we actually are suspected of a legitimate crime, and they don't get to make one up either. What do we know about reasonable suspicion under Terry v. Ohio? Reasonable, articulable suspicion of a specific crime in order to lawfully detain. Yet there is no crime. There's just maybe a call or suspicious activity. But what happens next when the police show up on these non-criminal calls? That's right, unlawful detention. They're detaining without so much as reasonable, articulable suspicion. None of that's going to stop our stalwart thin blue line heroes now, is it? And once they make that unlawful detention for no crime, what are they going to demand next? There it is. Give me your ID, or else. It was because you refused to identify yourself that you are now charged unlawfully and falsely with obstructing a non-criminal investigation. I use that terminology because that's important to know. It was a non-criminal investigation. They won't use that terminology, but I sure as hell will. Linear backtracking left to right, one more time. There was no crime. The officer shows up, but there's no crime. They cannot articulate reasonable suspicion of a specific crime, but they went ahead and made the unlawful detention, which then led them to make the unlawful demand for identification. And when the person refuses because they know damn well they don't have to ID, they're falsely arrested for obstructing the officer's investigation. When you apply the exclusionary rule to that linear backtracking, where does everything blow up for the officer and the malicious prosecutor and maybe even the dipshit judge? It all blows up right chair. There was no crime, so when you apply the exclusionary rule, everything you see to the right of that big, beautiful mushroom cloud should have never happened in the first place. Yet, we all know it does, and it happens so often in so many different places to so many innocent people. What makes this so especially tragic is how easily preventable this all is. America, when there's no crime, you're allowing this to happen because you don't know your rights. And if there's one entity above all the rest should know better, are the ones who have Juris Doctorate degrees, the attorneys. But they go ahead with the prosecutions and they find innocent people guilty. Why can't we just be left alone? I mean, that's where this is all headed. Why can't we just be left alone? There's no crime. Leave us the fuck alone. Stop this nonsense. And all the sheep and the bootlickers, and the Karens and Darrens, oh, I got nothing to hide. Just give up your ID. Fuck you. You give up your rights to these clowns. I'm not going to. And once you start giving up your ID, why not let them search your car? Got nothing to hide, How about let them search your house and have the coffee and donuts ready? You losers, you fucking cowards. Here's where I throw out my Dave challenge. And I don't know if he'll ever hear it, but the challenge will always stand, and that's you, Lackluster. Look at your audience. I thought this was a collective effort to help people know their rights and fight back against police tyranny. I guess I was wrong. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to let you listen to Dale's own words when it comes to... I'll tell you what. Just listen.
Yeah, you're okay to be here when you start videotaping inside of where it is a private place that you're not supposed to be. That comes a little different, right?
What is it? Please educate me.
That would be like a peeping Tom trespass.
A peeping Tom trespass?
Yes.
I didn't know you can turn a constitutional protected activity into a crime.
Right.
Yeah,
so,
can we get like a captain out here, please?
I'll just take you down.
A supervisor, please?
Nope, I'm going to take your information.
You said no, and that's your policy to get a supervisor?
Okay, it's not.
We're asking you for your ID. We need your ID right now. We have to identify you.
For what crime?
Well, I'm going to advise you of trespass from this property,
My
and
partner just
also
literally told you 2 seconds ago.
we're advising you of.
But I've never been on their property.
Can I please get your identification, sir?
Can we please get a supervisor out here? I just don't need anybody to do
Is there
anything or...
anything I could say to get you to give me your information?
If you get a supervisor here, please,
Can I have
because
my supervisor come on?
I don't need you guys to make any mistakes or do anything wrong.
We're not-
I'm actually out here.
We're asking for a simple stuff.
The most dangerous type of mistake is the one that doesn't feel like a mistake at all. These officers aren't hesitating due to a lack of confidence. On the contrary, they've done this repeatedly in the 3 years since they graduated high school, without being challenged. And that makes it feel worried about violating your rights. Because most people, including the officers, don't know theirs well enough to object, and even fewer are willing to stand up for themselves.
Those are some right smart words, Dale. Such that I had to listen to them twice. So here's my question. You have 1.38 million subscribers. You say that people don't know their rights. They don't know their rights. They don't know how to fight back. So let me ask you, if you would be willing to ask any one, just one of those 1.38 million subscribers, how many of them know about my book strictly from you? Oh, and I suppose when your cadre of leg humpers jump in and say he doesn't owe me anything, I get that. But then again, I'm not asking you, I'm asking him. The guy who has 1.38 million subscribers and says we all need to learn our rights. So I'm going to go ahead and close out this video with a message that I got personally from a Miss Laura Peterson, a self-described grandmother who shortly after part 1 came out, she didn't just buy one copy, she bought 2. One for herself, but the second copy she gave to her, at the time, 8-year-old grandson. You see, Dale, that's who I work for.